The loss of a child during pregnancy can be devastating for would-be parents. But a new court ruling hopes to bring some closure to grieving parents who can now bury their unborn babies. Previously, a fetus less than 26 weeks old was deemed medical waste and was disposed of as such. A High Court ruling has given Parliament a year to amend sections of the Births and Deaths Registration Act. And in the meantime, parents may request a death certificate for their fetus, allowing for a burial. For more on this, we're joined by Sonja Smith, the director at Sonja Smith Funeral Group. Sonja, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So tell me, how were you involved in this High Court case?
Annie, this all started in 2005 when I was called to a private hospital in Pretoria for a set of triplets who passed away before the gestational age of 26 weeks. When I arrived at the hospital, they were missing, they were gone. And I was, you called me, how can they be gone? Where are they? And the unit manager turned around and said, there goes the medical waste truck. They're on their way to the incinerator to be disposed of as medical waste. That was the first time that I learned about these inhumane laws of South Africa. And, of course, I kicked up such a fuss in the hospital that they actually went to the medical waste plant to find the set of triplets so that I could give them a dignified send-off. Up to last year, the parents were not aware of what happened behind the scenes. And it's a long story, but I made it my mission to find them, and I did. So it's just so rewarding to hear from them what it meant to them that they could actually be afforded a dignified send-off.
I can only imagine, Sonja, that a would-be parent would go through incredible trauma, not only at the loss of a pregnancy and of a future child, but that they would be put through such difficulty in the process of trying to get some closure and to grieve. What do you think this ruling is going to mean for parents going forward?
Up to now, it is such a grey area in the law that you were at the mercy of the hospital staff in front of you. If you ask 5 doctors, you will get 5 different answers because there are no policies with regards to the management of births before 26 weeks. So I am so relieved that dignity will be restored for these parents. I deal with them every day, and I can tell you it is something that you never get over. If you speak to parents who've lost a child, an unborn baby, 20 years ago, they can tell you exactly as if it happened yesterday. And there was no closure because it was like a missing child. Where is the little one? What happened? Because people were not aware of these laws up to now, and I made it my mission for the last 16 years to create awareness by raising parliamentary questionnaires, by talking about it, and then I just realized as one single person I'm getting nowhere with this, which is why I formed a non-profit company, The Voice of the Unborn Baby, in 2015, and it's just that these old archaic laws from dating back 40 years were never brought in line with the Constitution.
Sonja, what impact does the ability to bury an unborn child or a stillborn child have on that process of grieving and of closure? I think some people might underestimate how important that ritual or that tradition is.
Yeah, nowadays we talk about grief tasks. So one of the tasks will be that you have to admit and accept what has happened. And by having a little grave to go back to, or by having a little bit of ashes of what you already perceived as your child, by having that, it will automatically make you aware that, I can almost say the denial part is taken care of. Because you can see the reality, there is the grave. There was a little coffin, and it will just bring so much closure and comfort to people when there is a place to go back to.
Sonja, tell us a little bit about the legality now. So this High Court ruling, does it still have to be confirmed by the Constitutional Court? We know that the ruling has, the court has given Parliament a year to amend the Births and Deaths Act. But what part of the process does the Constitutional Court play in upholding this ruling?
So some portions of the Births and Deaths Registration Act has been declared unconstitutional, which is why the Constitutional Court has to ratify the changes. But the regulations per se stipulate from now on going forward that parents will have the choice, irrespective of the gestational age, because the gravity of the loss is not determined by the number of weeks or the weight of the fetus. And they will now, going forward, have the choice. The ministers has a number of days. The one is 20 days, the other one is 30 days, to inform their departments of these changes that will be coming. And then also, as I said, the ratification by the Constitutional Court, and they have to file affidavits within a specified time to say what they have done up to then to inform and get the process rolling.
Sonja, before I let you go, one last question. In the interim period, before that ruling is official and the Act is amended by Parliament and officially in place, what do you suggest parents should do? Should they find themselves in these devastating circumstances of having lost a child? How should they go about navigating the processes?
It's difficult because it will take some time for this to filter through. And it is important to note that there are exclusions from this ruling. Any human intervention, unfortunately, is not included in the ruling, which would include medical termination. So that's very close to my heart, because those are the people who actually will benefit from this ruling, and they are excluded. So, yeah, people must just become aware of what their options are, and that it's not a matter of a piece of paper that can prohibit you from doing what is right.
So there is still work to be done. We're hoping to see you at the forefront of that work. Thank you very much. Sonja Smith is the director at the Sonja Smith Funeral Group.